Hi, everybody. Hello. 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 Can someone hear me, please? Yeah, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Hi, Diana. Thank you for thank you, everybody, and I'm happy to be with every one of you. And my section is going to be on Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. We want to look at how we can integrate these two together. And this is going to be a presentation for the Global Platform Bootcamp, which I'm excited to be here with all of us to share some little stuffs about my experience working with these tools with us. And just a brief about what we want to do is that our agenda, we want to look at how we want to build a app. We are going to build a simple app in Power App and integrate it with our data in Power BI. And we are going to work with it such that we are going to be able uh, to have automatic refresh. So as you are putting something in your Power App, you are going to be seeing the reports being updated automatically, whether in your Power BI desktop or in your Power BI service, or whether you use the whether you use the Power BI mobile app. And the key part of it is that, for example, in my experience as a trainer or when I consult for organizations, I always see people asking questions like people want to use Power BI, for example, like Excel. So a lot of people that are Power BI developers or that work with Power BI, some people or a larger percentage of people have Excel background. So because of this Excel background, they are like, okay, can I see my data in rows and column? Can I write back to my data? No, we always tell them because Power BI is not a place you come and edit. You basically do data cleaning and transformation. You model your data, you build your reports. But with Power App, it enables you to do some little editing that you can do. We can write back to our data. You can update your data. And this is going to be useful for in organization, in enterprises that generate a lot of data on a daily basis. So you just need to build that pipeline in Power BI. You can have your Power App such that the different people that need to update this data, the only thing they need to do is to just keep updating their data. The data analyst in the organization does not need to keep on building new reports every day. You already have a laid down end-to-end solution. And that is what we want to be working on today. And that is exactly what we'll be working on today. And the process is basically like this. We have our data source, we have our Power BI reports, we have Power App, and we have Power Automate. We are going to see what Power Automate is going to be doing for us. And I just want to quickly let us know that, for example, your data source that we use is going to determine how we are going to refresh, for example. So, for example, you can import your data directly into Power BI. So once your data is loaded directly as an import, you can still build a Power Automate flow with it, build your Power App. But you are going to be limited for the Power BI Pro plan. You are only going to be limited to 8 refresh in a day. So you can only refresh in 8 times in a day. Then when we have other kind of subscription model, I think we have 25, so which is like the highest. But we can also import, we can also get our data, connect our data through a direct gateway. So we have some sources that you can use for direct gateway, like the Azure, like SQL Server. So in this our work today, we are basically going to be using SQL Server so that we have a direct gateway with our Power BI report, and you write back and everything updates. You don't need to do any refresh. You don't need to click any refresh button thanks to our Power Automate. So this we have a lot of connectors with in the Power Platform basically, even with our Power Automate too. More than 200 connectors. We have Dataverse, which is becoming more popular. But even outside Dataverse, which is by Microsoft, we also have a lot of other stores. We have Excel, we have SharePoint, we have a lot of them. And all these tools, the power it gives us is that it allows us to, we are able to connect to them to any of the Power Platform products we are using. So whether you are using Power BI or you are using Power App or you are using Power Automate, you can connect to these tools and do interesting stuff with your data. So like if we want to follow along in this kind of work, maybe we have a recording or even in this class, what we can do is we have our data in Excel, because the thing is a lot of organizations have their data first in Excel. Well, I'm not talking of very big data of 10 billion rows, but a lot of times people use Excel as a database. Meanwhile, Excel was not actually created to be used as a database. So, but okay, people store their data in Excel. For some reasons, we need to first of all get it to a database. So we put it into our SQL server, which means that you need SQL server on your computer, on your PC to be able to do what we want to do. And you use the SQL Management Studio as a GUI for you to interact with your SQL Server. And we have you need to have on-premise gateway installed also. Yes, although you can use the Power BI desktop for free, but to be able to work with the Power Platform, Power Apps, and to upload to Power BI service, you need a work email. You need a work email. So these are the requirements that we will need in order to be able to do this and to do our task. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my Power BI desktop. Yeah, I'm going to go to my Power BI desktop. I believe you all can see my Power BI desktop. All right. Okay. So I'm assuming we can see my Power BI desktop screen now. So what we have now, when we look at it, we have a data that has been imported into the Power BI through the direct gateway already. This workshop or this session is not really about how to import data, but basically you can just come to SQL Server and you bring your data through a direct gateway. So it is not a lot of data, it's just very simple data that we can see. We just have about 5 rows, and we have just very simple, and we have a calendar, deep dimension calendar, and you can also see that we have our data modeling right here. And that is that. So what we have now is, let's find a hypothetical situation. What we have is that these are items now. Our goal is we want to have an interface, an app that I can basically be able to add more items or edit some items. So like I have A001 oranges, it has been delivered, but A004 bananas shipped. So after it has been shipped for some hours or days, it's going to be eventually be delivered. So let's assume I want to edit this status of A004 to delivered. It means I need to go back to my original data source. But with Power App, I can build a Power App so that once I have this Power App, I can just select this guy. Once I select it, I can edit it. Once I edit it, it's right back to the data, my report update. So that is a simple example of what we want to do. And so let's get started. And again, like I said, we need a work email and we need to be signed in already. So interestingly, for very new updates in 2021, so I expect everybody is using updated version of Power BI. You can see now that we have Power Automate as a visual inside your Power BI desktop. We also have Power Apps inside Power BI desktop. So what we have now is we want to build a simple app. So let me just take this guy into a second screen. Let me just take it into a page, another page, and I want to have build a simple power app now. I'm just going to basically click on this guy, and you can see now that I have my interface. So you need to select the fields you want in your data feed. So I'm going to come to my fact table sales food, and I'm going to have item ID, item name. Let us also bring status and item name, status, unit price, and quantity. So let us bring this item. So after you have selected this guy, you cannot create new. If you don't select anything, you won't be able to create new. So, and you can also build your app outside. You may not necessarily start from here. You can go to the Power App Studio. You do whatever you want to do, and you can choose your app here. But I always prefer this approach. I start from here and I click on create new. So once I click on create new now, and it asks me that, okay, go to the Power Apps Studio. It generates a long link. You don't need to copy, just click on OK. It opens your browser. I believe we can all see me, right? We can see my screen. So it opens my Power App now. So I have my Power App. I'm signed in automatically. And we can see now that if I zoom in now, you can see I have the 5 items already. This is Power App. And one thing you will also notice is if you start from your Power BI and you integrate it, you are going to have Power BI integration here also. So we have our Power BI integration here by default. Normally, if you create a Canvas app in Power BI, you won't see this Power BI integration. But because we are coming from Power BI, that is why we have Power BI integration. Okay, but this is not what this is a gallery. This is not what I need. I'm just basically going to delete this gallery. And after I've deleted this gallery, I'm going to bring in a form. I'm going to insert a form. So this form is going to be an interface where I'm going to eventually be able to do what? To be able to add my data. But you can see now this is our Power App now. We need to have access to our data source, the same data source that we connected to in Power BI. So I'm going to come to over here to data. I'm going to add my data. The type of data is SQL Server. I'm going to click on SQL Server. This is the server, and I'm going to select the data. I'm going to have my data somewhere. It's going to show up. It's trying to. It's going to show all the tables in my. It's taking some time, but we should have it in a moment. Okay, let me check. Yeah, this is the data sales food. Okay. Okay, now I have it and it is sales food. So this is the table I'm interested in. I'm going to check it. I'm going to click on connect. Now I've connected to that particular table and it's trying to load, and we have our sales food already in our Power App. So I'm going to come to data source over here and I'm going to click on sales food. And once I click on it, I have this. I'm going to come to fields, going to add field, and I'm going to have my items that I need to. In the first case we want to do is we want to add new items. So that are the items I want to add. So status, quantity. Let me just select this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I click on add. Okay, I'm going to close this guy, and we can increase the size of this. And once we have that, we have our form. We can just bring it slightly. And this is our form now. We can see. One thing I also attention I want to call to us is that if you are using SharePoint, for example, as a data source, OneDrive as your data source, you just bring it in the same way we did it here. But for SQL Server, it has a there is also one additional thing you need to do. Your table you are bringing in, the data you are bringing in, which is the sales food data that we are bringing in, you need to specify in SQL the what's it called, the primary key. So if you don't specify the primary key, you will not be able to have edit capability over here. For example, when I come over here now to this guy, you can see now that I can be able to edit. So you will not be able to edit. So this is very important. And for us, let me just go to my SQL server. You can see this is the same data. You just need to right click and specify the primary key. And that is why we have it here like this. You won't have it like this if you don't specify it. And because what we want to do now is we want to add new data, we just come to edit, we click on new. So we need to specify that what we want to do is new. We are not editing. We want to add new data. And once we are done with that, we just need to, we have a couple of things we need to do. Best practice, let me just rename this guy and call it new form. And we rename this guy new screen. And now we need to put a button that we will be able to use to submit. And we just come over here and we have our button and we specify submit. Okay. And we increase this, everything looks good, we are happy. Now, when I come over here now, this is my form. I can write anything I want to put inside and submit. But we need to do some things. This submit button, we need to specify some properties for it. That when I click on submit, where are you on select, I need to specify and say that, okay, so submit form. And which form do you want to submit? New form. So once that button is clicked, that is the action we want it to do. And we also want it to reset it back to the previous state. So we have reset form function and we put new form inside it. So we have this now. One thing we also need to do is what? We have this. We also need to come to our new form. In our new form now, we need to tell our new form that, okay, once there is a success in submitting, there is a property called Unsuccess, and we come over here now. So for this Unsuccess, we want it to do two things. Unsuccess of some form submission, what do you want it to do? You want it to refresh your Power BI integration. This step is very important. It refreshes the Power BI integration, the connection between it, and it also notifies us that, okay, the form has been submitted. So we are going to write some simple functions there, which is we have Power BI integration dot refresh, and we just close the brackets, semicolon, and we have a notify also, notify, and inside my notify I'm going to have success. So that is the message I want to output, and the notification type dot success is going to be dot success, and you can see it has a timeout. So let's specify, you can see text notification type and timeout. We just close the bracket, everything looks good, we are happy. Now we are done with this. We come to our submit, everything looks good in our submit too. And that is that about that. There are some couple of things we could do again, but I want us to first of all test what's the simplest thing we have out now so that we see the progress. So I'm going to save this Power App. I'm going to give it a name. What name should we call it? Food, sales food boosting app. And we click on save. Since it's Power App, once you save, you don't need to publish because this is our first time of doing it. Subsequently, we can be publishing. Now I need to go back to my my Power BI screen. This is my Power BI screen, and you can see this. The app is trying to refresh. It always takes about 30 seconds or so before you see the changes. Yeah, we have it now. So I hope we all can see what we have, ladies and gentlemen. So now we need to specify, I said this is a new form. We just specify, let's just have an item ID A007, and we have a unit price. Let's call it this, status delivered. It just, and let's say 10 also, and let's call it avocado, and we submit. We submit. So if you click on submit now, you can see we have our success message, but we don't have any, no change has happened here yet. Why is there no change? Because we have not been able to, we've not refreshed our data sets yet. We have not refreshed our data set. If I click on refresh now, we are going to see what is going to happen. So it takes some, think the, okay, let us just go through it again. Transform data. Let's check what the problem is. Okay, everything looks good. So let's just add an item again, A0007. We call this 100, status delivered, quantity 100, item name, let's call it avocado. Let us just do it again. Success. So it won't reflect here. The reason it's not reflecting is because we don't have what's it called? We don't have we have not done anything to automate the refresh process. But if we click on refresh all, yeah, you click on refresh, I think there is an issue with this 7 rows, this columns, dates in say contain blank, this is not allowed. Okay, I think there is an issue with my date column. Let us just we are not using this for now. Let me just, we are not using calendar. Yeah, let me just remove this for now. Okay. And let's click on the refresh again. I don't expect. Okay. Yeah, you can see now upon refresh, you can see now that we have the 2 items I added. I have avocado, the 2 items I added. We can see it now. But we don't want to click, we don't like to always click on this refresh. You can see now it has been added. If I try to add another item, let's call it B001, unit price. The name of the item is let's call it biscuit, and we come to quantity 100, status on transit. Just an example. I've selected it. I click on refresh. You can see now that we have our biscuit now. But we don't want to always click on refresh every time. We want to have a live connection. So what do we need to do? In order to do this, let us first of all upload our work to the Power BI service. So we need to upload it to Power BI service. And I upload it to Abdul Workspace. And it's up. We just need to upload it to the Power BI service to do this. And we don't need to, okay, let us just open it for now. Let's open it for now. And once we have that, let us go back to our Power App. Now we want to just include that thing that will allow us to do what, that will allow us to have a schedule refresh, which is going to be, that is going to help us refresh data automatically, our report automatically when this button is clicked. So when this button is clicked, you want it to happen automatically. So what do? We need to do Power Automate for that. And we are going to come to action, come to Power Automate. So I have some flows already. I need to create a new flow. And I just want to quickly show us how to do that. And we create a new flow. We can use a template, or you can decide to create your own from scratch. If I want to create my own from scratch, I just need to come up instant cloud flow. We call it boosting uh, sales food boosting flow. Okay, and we select our Power App. We scroll down. We click on create. Now, what do we want to do? There is a particular action available for us. Even when you click on Power BI, you can see now that we have a lot of actions. You can see that this is our Power App. Our Power App is over here. There are a lot of actions you can connect to it, but in this case, we want an action related to Power BI, and there is one called Power BI refresh. Yes, yes, yes. Refresh a data set. We click on it. And once you click on it, it asks you for the workspace. That is why we need to upload it to publish it to the Power BI service. And we click on the name of the workspace. What's the name of the data set, which is the Power Platform demo. And we click on save. We are done with our flow. And we come back to Power App. We come back to this button. I want to add it, but it always cancels it. So you just need to, you don't want to repeat yourself, just copy it first, click on Power Automate, and you try to find it, sales food boosting flow. And I'm going to click on it. I'm trying to add it to this Power App. I'm adding my flow now, my Power Automate flow. So I have it now in my onSelect property, onSelect, and I just need to paste back these guys. Yeah, everything looks good now. So this button now, once it is clicked, we already know what is going to happen. It is going to do what? Refresh a data set. So everything looks good. What do we need to do next is we need to save our work. Once the work is saved, we need to publish. Yeah, you need to publish it again, publish this version, and we go back to our Power BI. We go back to our Power BI. It takes some 1 minute to 30 seconds or so before you will be able to see the changes affected. So we can just wait, or we first of all go back to, let us open our app.powerbi.com. Let us see what we upload, and I select my account. And I go to my workspace. Workspaces, yeah, the workspace. And we have, where are you? I think this is it. Yeah, Power Platform demo. Yeah, we have it. So you can see now this is the Power BI service. We have our simple app that we have linked together. So we can actually test it out here too. So let us try and add an item. Let's call it A008, and the unit price, and the status is which item. I think we can add, let's add mango as a fruit, and it has been delivered to you, quantity 10, and we click on submit. If our flow has been, I don't think it has been updated yet. It takes about 30 seconds or so, then, or less than a minute, before you see the changes affected. Before you see the change, because we want it to, we don't want to click on any refresh. So let us just check it here. Let us check it here also. Let's check it here also. An item name, let's add pear. I just want to, okay, I think I should not have, let's just do it again. Item ID is 008, unit price, let's call it 100 bucks, delivered, quantity 100, and we have here. And we click on submit. We click on submit, but I don't think it takes. What we need to do is let us first of all click on refresh first to make sure that this whole work is refreshed, and we yeah we and let us do it again. I'm sure we are going to see it in a moment. It just takes time, from 30 seconds to 1 minute or so. Transit 10 chocolate, and we call this guy C009, and click on submit. I'm not having it here yet, so let us go and check our, where are you? Let us go and check. Everything looks good. Submit form, reset form. We come over here, Power BI integration, success. Okay, where are you? My Power BI. We click on publish, but this doesn't really affect it. We need to, replace it, replace it. Okay, let's try it again. 3001, 100, status delivered, quantity 10, let's call it chocolate. What's happening? Let's go back over here again. Power BI integration, is our flow added correctly? Sales food posting app, sales food posting app, Abdul Power Platform demo. Okay, I know what to do. We are just going to do something very simple to make sure we are seeing the updates. Let's change the button. It's just something to notify us that it has been refreshed. We need to first of all know that it's seeing the new version of our app. So I'm going to save it again, and I'm going to, after saving it, now I've saved it, I'm going to republish it. So I just changed the button color so that I'm going to be very sure I'm going to have something to notify me. And we come back over here. We can see we don't have our green color yet. We just need to have a way to refresh our page first to make sure that we have the latest. Yeah, we have it now. And we are going to have C001, C001, unit price 100, status delivered, quantity 100, chocolate, and we click on submit. What's happening? Let's check again. I think there is a fundamental error somewhere. On select. Where are you? On select, submit form, new form, reset form. Okay. But yeah, it's not even this. Then that is on select of this button. and on success of this, it should do this. And sales food, yeah, and let us save. Everything seems to look good. We are going to get it done in a moment. Everything seems to look good. Okay, I want to change the color again. I need something to notify me that, okay, save, publish this version, and you can either do it from the Power BI desktop or from the Power BI service. Yeah, we have this guy, but the issue I have is I don't want to click on manual refresh. My button, my flow should work. So let us add a new item, status transit, quantity 10, item name, what item should we call teaser? We have success, which means it has been done, but one way it's not updating. So since we need to click on this refresh, do we see it or not? Yes, we see it, but this is what I want to avoid. So let us go back. Okay, I think, yeah. So let us go back to our flow. I think our flow of our Power App, we are going to know exactly what is wrong with it. So on success, on select, I mean, we have sales food, new form, or maybe we just recreate this guy. Let us just recreate this guy. Action, power automate. Okay, we don't have the flow now. And let us sales food boosting app. And we close the bracket. We add submit form and new form. Yeah, new form. Everything looks good. I want to change this guy again. Don't mind me. It's just a way to quickly know I have my update. Yeah, I save and I publish. And we go back to our Power BI desktop. Go back to our Power BI desktop. Okay, I think we have something we did not do here. Power BI integration dot refresh. Do we have it? Yeah, we have it. Dot success, notification type dot success. Yeah, everything looks good. And we first of all want to have the latest version of our app here first. So we should see a green button. Then we are sure that we have it. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, we have it. So let's publish this version. In fact, I think you don't even need to publish self, but let's republish it. Let's republish this version. Yeah, we replace you. And we open it. And let's have B0 item ID B001, unit price 100, status transit 100, banana Okay, so we it seems you need to, at the moment we still need to click on our refresh. Our flow is not working yet, but there is something else we can also do. We are going to test another flow now. We are going to test another flow now. So what we can do is, let us come to Power Automate. We come to Power Automate. We want to do a flow for email notification. Let us just quickly confirm that there, and let us just use this guy. We add a new step. We are going to come to Outlook email, Office 365 Outlook, send an email V2, and let's rename this guy send email posting. And over here now, we want to make it dynamic. We ask in Power App, our subject also, we see more, ask in Power App, see more, and you ask in Power App, and you click on save. Once we are done with that, we are done with this flow. We are done with this flow. We can come to our Power App now, and we can see now that we have it. So what we need to do is, we need to bring this flow to this button. So unselect of the button, and let me just copy this out because it removes it once I try to add it. And we have send email busting. We add it now, so it's adding. You can see now we could have typed it out ourselves, but I just want to let us know how this works. So now this send email busting, it requires some parameters inside. The parameters we didn't specify those emails. So now it requires, if you see this bracket, it requires two. So let me send it to myself. The account I'm using is Hafiz at yglw8.onmicrosoft.com, and we need to specify subject. So let us just use a static subject. Now we can make it dynamic. We call it new item added, and over here to let us make it new item added, and we will close the bracket now. So everything looks good, everything looks good, everything looks good, and we have this. Let me confirm again on select. So we've added two flows now. So we want to run this flow on select of this button. Okay, so let me save. Let me publish this version, and we go to my, it has been published now. We just need to make sure that the change is is affected. So you, not yet, you want to have it blue, so you just take some few seconds. Yeah, we have it. So now let me open my email also, so that we can see how email is going to be received. I think, is it this? Now we have let's call it A0010, unit price 100, status ordered. So it has been ordered already. And which food should we use? Let's call it which food do we have? I, I don't think this is the latest version of the app, because we've added some foods. Let me just, before clicking on submit, we want to make sure we are using the latest. Yeah, I know that. So let's just repeat the step. A0010, unit price 100, status delivered, quantity 100, item name, what do we want to call it? Plantain, and we click on submit. So it is supposed to trigger a flow now. A flow is supposed to be triggered. Once that flow is triggered, what we are going to have is that an email is going to be received. So I'm going to come here now. Can we see now that we have new item added? New item added. So we can make this flow dynamic now. So it means that from your Power BI app now, a new item is added, you see it, and it also triggers a flow that sends an email to whoever you want it to send to. So we can also do something like you can specify, you can modify this guy now. Say that we want it to tell us the user dot dot full name. Yeah, we want it to say that okay, a particular user, maybe within an organization, you have shared this app and people can add items to it. So we want to be notified. Maybe the manager wants to know who adds what. So what we are going to have is user dot full name, and we use an ampersand instead. User dot full name, and yeah, it added something, added new item. We could also do something that will tell us the name of the new item that has been added. So we can say that added what? What did the person add? So the person added a new item name. We need to create a variable item name, and I'm going to now come to my new form where I need to bring what has been added exactly. This is the item name. It resides inside this box. I'm going to first of all make sure it is unlocked. So these are just some stuff, and I'm going to use the onChange property. OnChange, there's a property called onChange. So inside this onChange, what am I going to have there? I'm going to set the variable. Set. So now we have item name. So that is the name I'm using. Item name, data. Let us know the exact name of this guy, which is data card value 5. Data card value 5 dot text. So we close it now. So we have set it now, item name, and we come over here. We should have our item name specified. There is still an error somewhere I'm trying to see. Okay, and yeah, I got you. And so now we want it to tell us that okay, the name of the person that added the item added and the item name that has been added. So what do we need to do? We save. Once we have saved, what do? You publish. Wait for about 30 seconds or so. You come to your Power BI report. You come to your Power BI report, and let's just hold on a bit for it. You try to trigger the flow. Excuse me. You use the button to trigger the flow. Once there is a flow that has been triggered, you are supposed to receive an email, which is the email I specify. So let us try it out now and have CC001 and call it 100, status delivered. Quantity is going to be quantity 10, and let's say that chicken has been delivered to us. And we click on submit. So it's supposed to trigger the flow and send an email to us. So we should receive the email. So now do I have it or not? So you can see it's still giving me the previous version. So it means that we don't have the updates yet. So we need to just hold on for it. So that is one thing we can do. While we wait for this to get updated, there is also another thing we can do, which is how much time do I have left? I have about 5 minutes left, right? Diana? Hello? Okay, so now, Diana, okay, so there is also another thing we can do. We can create a new screen that you can integrate. This is the Power App now that you can integrate with your what? With your Power BI. So we can come over here and say we call it Power BI Visual. Hello, yeah, my time is up. Okay, so let me just show this as the final. So we just, yeah, we've integrated Power BI into it. You click on Power BI and you click on this guy. Also, no, I wanted to insert Power BI tile. So I insert the Power BI tile. So it's going to ask you for the workspace, the dashboard, and the tile. So which means that we need to first of all let us just take this simple visual that we have and let us pin it to a new dashboard, and let us call it Boston dashboard. And we click on pin. So it has been pinned. We can go to our dashboard to confirm. So this is the simple dashboard. It's just a very simple example. You come to our Power App. What do? You come to, it's inside my Abdul workspace, and we have boosting dashboard, and we have just one visual there. And I have it now, and in a moment I should see it. Now we have it. So we can see now that we can have a Power BI report that you can update automatically. You can have your Power App that you can bring a Power BI visual of a data. So we don't really need to have access to this screen in our Power BI report that we have over here. If we come over here now, we don't really care about let me just Power Platform. Yeah. So we don't see excuse me, we don't really care about because we have it already here. So there's nothing that concerns us about the second screen that contains the visual. This visual is for someone that is within the Power App. And within the Power App too, you can decide to run your what's it called? We can decide to run this app. If you run this app, it is still going to update the data, and you are going to see the results inside the what? Inside your Power BI dashboard or report, anything that you have built. So everything just work together like that. So that is just that about what I want to show us. Let us just test this guy one final time to see the email that we had. The way I created an update for the email, and unit price, uh, status delivered. Let's say we are on to 100 line, and we click on submit. So success, we should receive an email in a moment. You can see now, so Afis Jima, which is my name now, added line. You can see now that it is different from what we had previously. All thanks to our Power Apps, that we were able to use a function in this our send email feature. So we can, I think we just need to put a space here. Yeah, everything looks good. So there are a lot of things we can do. Power Platform wants to help us to automate our work processes for organization. So you do that is thanks to Power Automate, but it also integrates with a lot of other tools that when you properly integrate it very well, you don't need to do the same thing every day, every day, every day. So you ease the life of people you work with or the organization that you work with. You solve problem, and the interesting part is you are writing little or no code. Just since morning we can see now that we only wrote just very simple functions. So which is very low code, and we can see with that is how we can integrate it. And when you come to Power Automate here also, you can create different flows. The previous speaker talked about the Power Automate for a number of times. So you can link it with Teams for an action. You can do anything that you want it to do. So it is not compulsory that it is an email. We have just showed an example of how you can make Power BI, Automate, and Power Platform work together with a simple example. And if you also want to edit, it is also very easy to do. Let's assume you want to edit a particular item. You just need to come over here and you change this guy to edit, and you use a lookup function to identify that particular item you edit when you select it. And that is all about that. I think I have something in my slide. Yeah, that is all. That is all. So that is one of the advantages of using direct query, because you are not limited. You can always trigger it several times in a day. That is what this is about. So thank you to our sponsors, to the sponsors of the Global Power Platform event. Thank you to Diana for organizing this bootcamp, and I'm happy to receive any question from the audience.